We're nearing the end of the summer season, and an oh so familiar experience is floating into the consciousnesses of many of the women in my realm. What is that? Dun dun dun. It is guilt. Have you ever felt guilty about something? It is a very human experience, and I'm not negating it by any means. However, as women, as moms, as business owners, we often tend to carry more guilt and really guilt that doesn't even belong to us. So today I thought I would invite you into my world to lead you through a quick practice that you can do anytime you are feeling this heaviness of guilt. And we all feel it, we all experience it, and our experiences of it can be different. And yet we're all similar in the sense that we all carry it. So it is a common experience. And it's sometimes just nice to know that other people are also carrying this weight because it goes unspoken so often. Welcome. I'm Yong Pratt. I am a body based visibility and branding guide. What does that even mean? That means everything we do here starts and ends with the wisdom of the body. Many of us were taught to override our bodies, our feelings, our sensations, our intuition in lieu of logic. I know that is definitely my experience that as a person with two science degrees, logic and scientific method thinking were really drilled into me from a very young age that you follow this process, you have to prove things are true or not, and then you go from there versus being in the 3D world where sometimes things are happening all around us. We cannot necessarily explain them. However, they are still contributing to our lived experiences. So, in this space here at Illuminating You Productions, it really is all about helping you to reclaim that starring role in your life and stepping fully into your spotlight. Why? Because so many women, myself included, have spent years really tending to the needs of those in our world, whether that is our coworkers, whether that is our children, our partners, our communities. We are giving of ourselves so much. And yes, it does feel good to help other people fulfill their dreams and get their desires. However, at the end of the day, what I experience with my clients is that most of them have given so much of themselves away, they've essentially lost track of who they are, who they always thought they were going to be. Those dreams they had as a child, they thought they were going to live out. Fast forward 20 or 30 or 40 or more years, and those are things that are very hazy at best, meaning if we are asked, we sometimes cannot even answer the question, hey, what do you do for fun? Because we don't always know what that means, right? We are doing the fun everyone else wants to have, and we're overriding our needs, our wants, our desires. And so, this space today, in particular, as summer is winding down, the guilt of, oh my gosh, summer's almost done, and we haven't done that yet. And I promised myself or I promised my kids this was going to happen. And I just don't know if it's going to actually pan out the way you planned or you intended. And I want to let you know that it is not your fault. It is okay. Society at large places a lot of pressure on us to live a certain way, to accomplish certain things, to have certain things. And so we carry a lot of guilt. And sometimes that guilt is so deep, it turns into shame. We shame ourselves for things that are not even our faults. Yet we make them our fault because we're just taking everyone else's stuff in. If you can resonate, let me know. Drop me a comment below. Let me know because this is how I have noticed over the past several years in particular that I'm letting go of this guilt, letting go of the shame. Does that mean I never feel it? Absolutely not. I am human after all, as are you. So we will all feel it at some level, in some way. And typically, what happens is that that guilt gets stored in our physical bodies. And that is why everything we do here at Illuminating You Productions is body based. It is a body first kind of methodology where we are getting to the heart, going deep into what really matters to us, checking in again with our values. And today I wanted to come share a little practice with you to help you become and stand calmly in the eye of the storm. And I, for one, my family will be the first to tell you that I am anything but calm. I do find myself with those pockets of calm. And like everyone else, when the world is swirling around you, sometimes we're more reactive than we want to be. And I definitely take ownership of that. It's something that I really want to be working on. So that is why I practice these tools, these practices, these rituals. I share them with my clients because I have found that once they start letting go of what doesn't serve them, things that aren't theirs, like the guilt of holding your whole family and their pleasure and their desires for the summer, you're holding that, making that entirely your responsibility. When at some level, it really is not all your responsibility. Yes, you can plan it and you can have beautiful intentions. However, we beat ourselves up so consistently and so deeply that it's really easy just to take on all of the upsets of everyone else and just carry all the guilt that belongs to us, the guilt that belongs to everyone else, and really just feel badly about ourselves. And I want us to be able to step out of that role of serving and being all things to all people all the time, letting that go. So we're going to take a little moment and we're going to stand if you are able. I invite you to stand if that makes sense for you. Everything that I share, I really want these practices, these rituals to be part of your everyday vernacular, things that you can use all the time, because the more that we can really tune into ourselves, really just have an awareness of, oh, I don't need to feel guilty about that. That is not my thing. That is a big realization. And it takes courage for sure to step out of the role of taking everyone else's stuff on to our beings. So here we go. If you can stand, I invite you to stand. We're really going to get into our hips and really focus in on this area. What I find is that so many of my clients, when they hold things in their body, a lot of it gets stored in the hip area. So I'm going to take a step back, hoping you can still hear me. In the front of our hips, because we sit all the time, this muscle here is really tight a lot. So there's a lot of baggage, I'll just call it that, stored in the front of our hips. And I know for me, that's where I feel a lot of tightness and tension a lot of the time. So taking some time to really just loosen this area up and allowing your energetic body, allowing the energy to flow all the way through your body rather than flowing and getting stuck in this spot. I find that happens a lot for my clients. We hold a lot of emotions, a lot of upsets, a lot of guilt in this particular area. So we're just going to circle our hips around. And the beautiful thing about this work is that there is no one right way. If your body wants to move faster, that is a-okay. If your body wants to move slower, that's okay too. And if you find a sticky spot, you can change directions here and just explore. If you find a sticky spot, feel free to stay there a little longer and explore. All of these little niggles in our body, all of these little quote unquote pains we feel, they're really invitations for us, little signals to us that our body's poking at us and saying, hey, I need some attention. Please pay attention to me. And so often it's so easy to reach for a pill bottle and take some Advil, Tylenol, anything else for pain, when sometimes all our body needs is for us to release the stuck energy. It's kind of like when you're out for a walk or you go anywhere and you see a body of water. And I'm thinking of kind of like just a little pond. If it doesn't get stirred up a lot and it sits there, all of the moss grows on top of it. It gets a little stagnant. It sometimes produces a smell that's not always pleasing to the nose. Your body is the same way. When there is stuckness, meaning that there is energy that is wanting to be moved out of your body, and yet we suppress it or we just ignore it, it will keep poking at us until we cannot ignore it any longer. So, as you're moving your hips here, just letting your breath be free, really letting go of the guilt. And in fact, if you can think of something you're feeling guilty about right now, it could be to do with summer and expectations that have not been met, ideas of things you wanted to do that you just don't know are going to happen, and you feel guilty about not being able to provide experiences to your family. Maybe that's something you're feeling guilty about. Maybe it's something to do in your business that, oh, I really feel guilt that I should be further along in my business and I'm just not. And really getting down on yourselves about that. I know this is one that is near and dear to my heart for sure. So it's one that I really need to move through, not to bypass by taking something external into my body or even having body work done, although that is lovely and nice and there's a time and place for that. We have so much ability to be able to help our bodies move through these emotions that we never were taught to express. And now you can bend your knees up and down and really bend and then move your hips around and see if that feels different, if there's a change there. Thinking about this guilt that you may be harboring in your body and just letting it be part of this movement. Place that guilt in your hips here. And this is kind of like having a beautiful glass of wine where when it gets poured, if you ever watch the vintners or the wine people, when they pour a glass of wine, they always swirl it up. So that's the visual here. We're not swirling really, really fast. We're just swirling our hips to see what is here, having an awareness of what is here. We're not judging it. We're just noticing. So often we are quick to judge things as good or bad. And this is just a reminder that nothing is really good or bad. We are just labeling those things based on our lived experience. And that is okay. That's how we make sense of the world. However, sometimes when we find ourselves in this spiral of guilt, this spiral that could look like shame or feel like shame, we're letting it really eat at us and poke at us from the inside without really addressing it. So these simple little practices, they feel really simple. They feel too simplistic, like, oh my gosh, I really feel like I need to work harder to get rid of this. And yes, again, there's a time and place for bigger based movements. However, we're so hard on ourselves, and sometimes we just need some gentle movement, not for quote unquote exercise or to work out, just to be in our bodies, to investigate ourselves, to be curious about what's going on, just circling our hips here. And now just doing a little wiggle with your hips. How does the guilt you were thinking about feel now? Is there a different quality to it? If you were to give this feeling now a name or a color, what would that be versus where you started? It's always nice to do a little assessment, and I sort of skipped ahead and didn't do that with you today. However, it is just nice to be in our bodies, be with our bodies, noticing and moving. And you can allow your body now to just explore some space. Maybe you want to do undulations with your body. Maybe your upper body needs some release as well. You can let your chest and your head be part of this movement. You can keep your hips still here, or you can move them all at the same time. Totally up to you. And my eyes are closed, and I may be sticking my head out a little bit when I lean forward, just so that I don't hit the microphone and cause a terrible sound. So if you're watching, wondering what my head is doing, I'm really just trying to make your experience of listening to this on the other end not be so jarring with me hitting the microphone. So really just allowing your body to be soft. And then when you feel complete, and if you want to go and experience this a little longer, you can always press pause and come back to this movement here. And these are just beautiful circular movements, beautiful spirals with our body. And if you can think about the shape of the spiral and how, in doing this, we're really unwinding, uncorking the deep feels in our body and letting them breathe and circulate and move. Because if you're anything like me, I never was taught to express my emotions in any sort of healthy way. In fact, I was often asked to suppress them or have them somewhere else because it was inconvenient to the room that I was in to show those emotions or to feel them. So suppression became sort of my go to. And then when I was by myself, I could release them. And yet it felt sort of, I always felt that guilt about my emotions and my feelings. So when we allow our bodies to gently move in these beautiful rhythmic ways, and I always think about spirals and circles simply because I can see the visual of unwinding myself here. And if you're someone for whom visualization is not accessible, that is okay. Maybe you want to give this sensation a name, a color. Maybe there's a certain quality about it. Really being present in the sensations of your body and really just using your imagination from there. So even if you aren't able to visually see this unwinding, you can feel it in your body. And when you're complete, you can find yourself back in stillness. Feet are wider than shoulder width apart. And taking just a simple scan through your body, imagining a beautiful white light above your head, like a flashlight shining its way from the top of your body all the way through the center, through your energy centers, through those beautiful chakras, and then shining all around, noticing what is here, noticing what is alive, and what is resonant for you now. And if there are any places that you feel or you see with this flashlight or in your mind's eye or with a sensation, if there are still places you want to investigate, I invite you to do so after we are wrapped up with this video, because this movement practice is yours. You get to do it whenever and however feels good to you. If you are in a workplace, perhaps when you go on your restroom break or your lunch break, you can take 30 seconds to allow yourself just to feel, to integrate and process. We allow so little time in our days for integration and processing because we're going, checking things off our to-do list, whether they are written or just in our mind's eye. We're always compelled to be achieving and doing things to feel accomplished. What would happen if you allowed yourself to simply stop doing and start being? And that all begins with your body. Take a moment now to check in with whatever guilt you were feeling before and notice. Again, we're not judging, we are just noticing. Is the quality of it different? Does the severity of how it felt before, is that different? Is there a different color, texture, even taste than there was before? Really just noticing. Because the beautiful thing about this work is that while it does, again, seem simple and almost sometimes too simple, that how could it possibly work because it's so simple? I promise that if you allow yourself these little moments of respite, these little moments of just sensing your physical body, being curious and noticing what is going on, this small little shift has a really profound way of impacting your life. And when you are aware of this and you start tending to yourself, your body, and your needs, the people around you start noticing. And it's really quite interesting because while you are feeling better, you know you're feeling better, the fact that other people can sense this is quite interesting. I had a client that I spoke to the other day. We were just doing a checkup, and she said people are now commenting to her that, oh, you seem really happy, or you seem really different. What's going on? They're not able to pinpoint it, but they can feel it in their person. Because when you take ownership of your body, when you make time for beingness rather than doingness, this allows you to evoke a beautiful calm that, even though it may not be present every moment of every day of your life, because honestly, how boring would that be if you were this calm all day long, every day, and nothing ever excited you or upset you? It would be kind of a boring existence, right? Just kind of this dull flatness. And we're humans. We're given emotions and sensations and feelings because we were able to express them. And apparently, I moved very far away from my microphone. So here we are back again. I'm hoping you can still hear me and you were able to hear all of that the whole time. When you're ready, allowing your eyes to flutter open. Recognizing yourself for showing up, for taking this time, these few moments. And yes, we have been on live now together for 20 minutes. However, this can be distilled down into 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute little pockets of time when we're standing at the grocery store, where we're waiting in line for gas or to pick up our kids. There are moments when we can let ourselves drop in and not be in a rush to do the next thing, yet being grateful for those pockets so that we can be with ourselves, because this is the beauty. This is the work we are privileged to do every day. We have access to it all day, every day. We just simply have to choose. I want to thank you for being here with me today, to move with me. I'm hoping again you could hear me as I was moving, because I moved further from the microphone than I intended. However, that's how this work goes when we are body led and we are tapping into the wisdom of our bodies. Sometimes our bodies take us places we don't even know we were going to go, and that is okay. It is a beautiful journey, a beautiful adventure, and it's so much fun to be able to just be with ourselves. So that is the invitation today, to be with yourself. Take 5 minutes, take 30 seconds, drop in to your body, move your body gently and with reverence, knowing that this physical body allows you to breathe. This physical body allows you to interact with others. This physical body allows you to interact with the world and have experiences that we as humans get to enjoy. Thank you for being here for yourself. Thank you for being here with me so that I could share this with you. Last weekend, I was at a cabin in the woods, and that beautiful sense of calm that comes when you're in the mountains by the water. I wanted to bring that calmness to you, because by getting to that place, we can let go of things like guilt that we are holding on to, that don't even necessarily belong to us. And if it does belong to us, we can give ourselves grace and space to feel them, move it through our body so it leaves our body. So we're not harboring all of those feelings that are not serving our bodies positively. Okay, my friend, if you enjoyed this experience, I have something coming up for you on the 27th of July. If you would like to join me for a full session, not just a few minutes, if you want a full body session where we can really work together to release guilt using not only movement, I have lots of tools in my toolkit that I'm going to pull out and share with you, all about releasing guilt. Because when we can release the guilt, we can start then taking ownership and responsibility for ourselves and start moving in ways that we know we're capable of moving and doing things we know we're capable of doing. Sometimes I have found myself hiding behind the guilt, keeping myself from doing things that I know would be of benefit to myself and to all of you as well. So, with that being said, message me, drop me a comment below this video. Let me know you'd like to join, because this is like literally not even just like the very tippy top of the iceberg. What we're going to do together on the 27th, we're going to spend some time together, about 90 minutes, to really go deep into this, to really move in new ways, discover the wisdom our body holds, so that you can reclaim the leading role in your life and stop sacrificing your dreams in lieu of the dreams you help others achieve. Okay, my friend, I'm Yong Pratt of Illuminating You Productions. It has been my absolute joy and pleasure to be with you here today. I look forward to catching you on the next live stream, or on the 27th inside of my movement experience, all about releasing guilt. The series is called Unscripted. There is no set script. We have been fed a bill of lies as far as do this, and you'll be successful. It's all about the undoing of that. We are going fully off script. We are going to release the guilt together, because when we are in community, there is a magic, a transformation that happens when we are in a virtual room with other women, other people experiencing what we are experiencing. The weight is lifted because we see in each other, we sense in each other commonality. So when we are together, we can transmit and transmute in ways that we could never do when we are solo. I look forward to seeing you then. Cheers.